Congratulations, Ernesto. So, in case you have recently joined us, welcome. This is the 16th World Championship of Yogasana Sports, brought to you live from Malaysia by the IYSF. In order to spread yoga sport awareness around the world and increase the interest in competing within non-competing yoga communities, the IYSF, under the guidance of the IYSF Technical Committee, appointed teachers and assistants. Oh, and here we have Ernesto's scores. All right, moving on to our next competitor, representing the United States, Seldon Jickinson. Begin, please. Congratulations, Seldon. Come. Dear. How many years have you been competing?
This is my 9th year. And I've done every world championship since 2018, and I love it.
Wow.
Yoga saved my life. A little 10 years ago this September, I walked into my first yoga class with manic depression, serious scoliosis. I couldn't walk without a cane. I couldn't sleep more than 3 hours a night. I was fully addicted to all sorts of not kosher substances, I'll just put it at that, because I needed to sleep. And after my first class, I slept through the night for the first time in 8 hours. My depression evaporated in 3 months, and a whole other list of bodily functions that, again, probably not fit for the stage, but slowly evaporated over time. And so I'm so grateful for this yoga practice. I'm so grateful to my friend Jordan, who brought me to my first yoga practice and got me to go plant-based and eventually give up alcohol, give up all substances, and it's for everybody. It's all just about showing up for yourself. Every little bit counts. Start slow, but start. The best time to start might have been 10 years ago, but the second best time is right now. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, yes to all. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And yes, of course, here we have Seldon's scores. Then again, IWSF motivates, supports, and gives structured guidance to national federations for continuing education under national judges and coaches. And they train their athletes through yoga sport classes, with camps, weekend camps. Coaches are trained by the IWSF and prepared to assist athletes to progressively and therapeutically achieve postures of higher complexity. Everyone is welcome to join us in this journey. Now, in case an athlete considers that the judges panel has failed to correctly apply a rule not related to the judge's evaluation of technical merit of the posture, or that there is a time judge error or computer error, then an appeal can be made. But appeals cannot be based on how a judge evaluates the athletics performance. Athletes have 15 minutes to appeal from the moment their personal grades are displayed. The athlete, the coach, or an athlete's representative must make appeals by written, and then once the appeal is received, it will be announced, and there is a $100 fee to be sent with the appeal. If the appeal is decided in favor of the athlete, then the fee is returned. And if the appeal is not decided in favor of the athlete, then the money will be kept by the IWSF. And once a decision has been made, it is final and no further discussion can take place. Moving on to our next competitor, representing the United States, Ian Johnson. Begin, please. time. Congratulations, Ian. Such a wonderful performance of strength and steadiness. So, in case you have recently joined us, welcome to our live broadcast of the IYSF YouTube channel. You don't know what you've missed. We're currently attending the 16th World Championship of Yogasana Sports 2025. The athletes you're watching perform have been qualified by only IYSF national and continental championships. Now you might be wondering, how have the athletes assembled their routines? First of all, it's important to point out that proper coaching is most important in this matter. Here we have Ian Johnson's scores. Each athlete must complete 6 optional postures within 3 minutes. Moving on to our next competitor. I'm gonna ask for the scores of Ian Johnson to be displayed again. Yes, but they weren't ready. There they are now. All right, so move on to the next competitor representing the United States, Anel Sandoval. Begin, please. Congratulations, Angel! Come. Come here. So, tell us, how long have you been practicing yoga?
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years. What is keeping you up with it, with your practice?
I just love it. I love the benefits and how calm it makes me feel, and it's very healthy.
Did it happen on the first moment? Like the first time you took class, you were like, this is mine? Or did it take some time for you to adapt to the practice?
Yes, I was very inspired by the lady that was teaching. She was 58 years old and just looked ageless. And
Do you remember her name?
yes, Gurmukh, a Sikh lady, and she really inspired me. I said, whatever she's doing, I have to do this every day. Yeah.
So keep it up. It was beautiful. Thank you so very much. Congratulations. And yes, of course, here we have Anel Sandoval's scores. Very consistent routine. Again, you might be wondering, how have athletes assembled their routines? First of all, it's important to point out that each athlete must complete 6 optional postures within 3 minutes. The athlete must choose one posture of each of the 6 compulsory groups: back bends, forward bends, compressions, tractions, twists, lifts, and inversions. Athletes can accommodate the postures in whichever order they decide, but there is a 3-point deduction from the overall score for each compulsory group missing from the routine. During the routine, each characteristic of balance, flexibility, and strength is to be demonstrated twice. And we're ready to move on to our next competitor. Let's see John Zurank's scores. Oh, sorry, Anel Sandoval's scores. No. All right. So we move on to our next competitor. There we go. Representing the United States, John Zurank. Begin, please. Congratulations, John. Again, a wonderful performance of balancing both strengths and flexibility. Thank you so very much. During the routine, each characteristic of balance, flexibility, and strength is to be demonstrated twice. For each repetition missing, a 1-point deduction of the overall score will be given. For example, if no strength is demonstrated within any of the postures, then the 2-point deduction will be given. We're ready to see the scores. Here we have John Zurenk's scores. Moving on to our next competitor, representing Czech Republic, Pabl Namislo. Begin, please. Congratulations, Pavel. Come. So, how many times have you competed before?
3 times.
3 times. So, and who is your coach? Who's training you?
Difficult to say, Teresa.
Yes. And you know, music selection is optional and it doesn't give you points or take points from you, but it's always a very interesting way of perceiving the athlete's expressive needs. How do you pick up this piece that we just listened?
Because I didn't find something else.
Wonderful. Well, it's a beautiful piece. Thank you so very much. Congratulations. And we're ready to see the scores. Now, let me tell you, the posture guidelines indicate possible extra skills or less skill for a given posture. These aspects of elements of a posture that determine either greater or lesser proficiency in the execution. Extra and less skills do not change the characteristics of the posture. And there we have Pabl Namislo's scores. Indeed, very consistent performance. Moving on to our next competitor, representing India, Parth Agraal. Begin, please. Thank you very much, Parth. Thank you so very much. Wow. So, tell us, when you're on stage, where does your mind go? What do you think when you're on stage?
For me, the biggest element in my practice is devotion. I'm not thinking about me or the postures. I'm thinking about everyone who supported me, because of whom I'm here. And yeah, it happens.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. And we're ready to see the scores. Moving on to our next competitor, representing India, Bibangu Banjare. Begin, please. I'm sorry, Bibangu. We have a technical difficulty. If you want, you can leave the stage and wait for a moment, please. There was a technical difficulty with the scores of Parth's performance, so we need to display again, please. Parth Agraal. There you go, we were all wondering. So all right, now we are ready to move on. Representing India, Bibangu Banjare. Begin, please. Thank you very much, Bibangu. Congratulations. So, the IYSF rules are always subject to updates and considerations. And for this season, this current season, there were a few updates based on scoring and performance of posture selection from the past two international championships, the World Championship of 2022 and the European Championship of 2023. It was clear for the judges and coaches that updates were required. So now we're ready to see the scores for Bibangu Banjare. There we go. Indeed, last posture was a second attempt, and that's why we see a score below 5. Moving on to our next competitor, representing India, Sandep Nayak. Begin, please. Thank you, congratulations, dear Sandep. Come. So, come here. How long have you been practicing yoga?
It's more than 17 years I'm practicing yoga. I have been practicing.
More than 17 years? Yeah. Since what age, do you remember?
When I was in class 4, since that day I've been practicing, yeah.
Since 4 years old? Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm in class 4. Maybe it's for 12-year-olds when I was.
And how long have you been competing?
Sorry?
Participating in competition? For how long?
The first time this World Championship, and I'm very feel happy be part of this and meeting these worldwide yogis and yoginis. It's my I'm very happy. It's my honor thing that being as an athlete, I'm here.
Do you want to do it again, compete again next year, maybe next time?
Definitely.
Good. Congratulations. It was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, some of the updates to the rules that apply from this season on are 3-point deduction instead of 1-point deduction for every missing category in the athlete's routine. Being only able to get extra skill bonus ones for the same extra skill demonstrated. For example, grabbing the foot from behind in both dancer and full standing bow, bringing both legs behind the head with no hands in both full tortoise and 2 legs behind the head handstand. Adding the minimum expression to dancer and full standing bow that the athlete needs to lock the standing leg. We're ready to see the scores for Sandep. Yes, indeed. Now, moving on to our next competitor, representing Mexico, Luis Arevalo. We're missing one representative from India. So, representing India, Harshkumar Patel. There we go. Begin, please. Congratulations, Harsh. So, tell us, who is your coach who's helping you prepare for the competition?
Yeah.
Who is? Do you know the name of the coach?
Namrata Ma'am Verma.
When you're very flexible, it's hard to stay still on the posture, to hold it still. And you have a lot of stillness in the posture. How do you make it happen? Okay. Thank you so very much. Congratulations, it was wonderful. Oh, yeah, maybe, yes, here's Mandeep, so you can help us, yes. About the stillness in the postures, because very flexible bodies, it's very difficult to achieve stillness. So how does he make it happen, you know?
Okay, वो ये बोल रहे हैं कि जब इतना flexibility होने के बाद इतना stillness कैसे कर लेते हो?
Warm up. Flexibility मतलब warm up.
मेरे को बता दे, मैं बता दूँगी.
Warm up પછી आसन.
He's saying he warm ups more than practice, and then asanas is going to be like is a part of the practice. So for him, warm up and the rest of the other before preparation for the asanas is more important than the asanas.
Thank you, yes, that's wisdom. Thank you so very much. So, about the updates of the rules that we were mentioning before, about the dancer and the full standing bow, the athlete must have the thigh muscle of the standing leg contracted so that the knee is locked. Also, there's an addition of deduction specific to the posture to all the one leg standing postures, like standing split, split arm, bird of paradise, flag, goodbye, side angle, shivasana, and compass. If the knee of the standing leg is not locked, then deduction will start at -1 up to -3 depending on the degree of the bend. If the standing leg is straight but the thigh muscle is not contracted, that's a -1. Minor bend -2 and a major bend -3. We're ready to see the scores for Harshkumar. Yes, indeed, about the last posture. It is about the minimum requirement of the posture, the angle of the thighs, of the hips when it's in the posture needs to be higher than 45-degree angle in order to be a handstand. At least 45 degrees. Higher than 45. 135. That's the angle. 135 degrees. All right, we need to move on to our next competitor. And you already know who him is, representing Mexico, Luis Arevalo. Begin, please. Congratulations, Luis. Thank you so very much. Now, in case you have recently joined us on our live broadcast at the IYSF YouTube channel, welcome. We're currently attending the 16th World Championship of Yogasana Sports 2025. The athletes you're watching perform have been qualified by only IYSF National and Continental Championships. The IYSF was founded by Ms. Rayashri Chowdhury in 2003 to develop yoga sports into an official Olympic sport and to reinforce disciplined yoga and practice unity through sport. We're ready to watch Luis' scores. Very well. Moving on to our next competitor, representing Mexico, Alejandro Blanco. Begin, please.
Que el eterno sol te ilumine, el amor te rodee y la luz pura interior guíe tu camino. Que el eterno sol te ilumine, el amor te rodee y la luz pura interior guíe tu camino. Que el eterno sol te ilumine, el amor te rodee y la luz pura interior guíe tu camino. Que el eterno sol te ilumine, el amor te rodee y la luz pura interior guíe tu camino. Satnam.
Thank you very much, Alejandro. Congratulations. So again, our last World Championship occurred in 2022 in India. And as you can imagine, we were already eager to be back together again. And today we are having our semi-finals for both female and male athletes of the adults division. Tomorrow we will be seeing our youth competitors, senior competitors, and adult finalists, so don't miss out. You're gonna like it. In order to spread yoga sport awareness around the world and increase the interest in competing within non-competition yoga communities, the IYSF, under the guidance of the IYSF Technical Committee, appointed teachers and assistants, we're ready to see the scores for Alejandro Blanco. There we go, a quite very consistent performance. It's time to move on to our next competitor. Representing Mexico, Augustine Berea. Begin, please. Congratulations, Agustin. Come. So we've seen you compete a few times now. How many times have you competed?
5.
5 times. What keeps you going?
Well, I was very, very last in my first competition. That really motivated me to come back, get better every single year, and competing really kind of pushes me forward to be better.
Who's helping you? Who's your coach?
Rocio, Team Joe Gallery. Yeah, she's awesome, and the whole team. We just have a lovely time. It's you work hard, but you also play hard.
And are you planning to compete next time?
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you very much. Congratulations. And we're ready to see the scores. There we go, Augustine Berea's scores. Moving on to our next competitor, representing Mexico, Eduardo Mendoza. Begin, please. Congratulations, Eduardo! Again, someone we've seen for a long time. How many times have you competed? You're sweating like you ran a marathon. Since when have you been competing?
2013.
2013, so 12 years competing.
12 amazing years.
what gives you to belong to an international yoga sports community?
You have the opportunity to gather a big family, not competitors, big family from other countries. The most important thing is when you return to your country, you have new friends. That's the most important thing, and you are creating a good memories for the future version of yourself. So maybe this is one of the most important things that we have. And also, as my personal experience, 5 minutes before the competition, I said, this is the last time, Lalo, no more than that. And after 2 minutes, or right now, I say, I want more.
Who's helping you? Who's your coach?
Hey, Kim Tang, amazing Kim Tang. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lalo. Congratulations. Again, the IYSF motivates, supports, and gives structured guidance to national federations in order to continue the education for the national judges and coaches. We're ready to see Eduardo's scores. Yes, the next to last posture was a second chance, second attempt. That's why we see a score below 5. Moving on to our next competitor, representing Mexico, Eric Quesada Chavira. Begin, please. Congratulations, Eric. Thank you so very much for your very strong performance. Now, we've seen twice today happen that the athlete applies a rule for last-minute change in the routine. As you know, athletes need to register the postures that they're going to perform, and they need to perform them in the order that they've registered them. But if an athlete decides for some reason to make a change in the routine for the very last minute, the athlete needs to name the posture at stage before executing the posture in English and name it correctly. That's the only way the posture will get a complete score. We're ready to see Eric scores. There we go. This is Eric Casada's scores. And we're ready to move on to the last competitor of this adults men division in semifinals. Representing Mongolia, Belgutey Olombatar. Begin, please.
Atento a la voz de su abuelo, niños que escuchan atento a la historia de su abuelo, y ahí apareces tú con tu ser luminoso. Apareces tú con tu ser poderoso, con tu ser luminoso.
Congratulations, Belgutey. Wonderful, wonderful performance. So, in a minute, we will see Belgutey's scores displayed on screen. After that, we will see the ranking of the whole of the whole division, of the adults division for the semifinals. Please be reminded that after the whole division is displayed, then we will have 15 minutes for possible appeals. And also, we've already mentioned the rules for appeals previously, but be reminded that you can have access to the rules of the POSH guidelines directly on iysf.org/rules. We're ready to see Belgutei's scores. There we go. Are we ready to display the ranking for the adults men division? Yes, so let's see the ranking. There we go. This is the ranking for the adults men division. Remember, the top 10 have qualified for tomorrow's finals. All right, we will take a short break and we will come back very soon for the adults women's division. So, before we go on the break, we will be handing out our athletes of the adults men division their certificates of participation. Can we display the scores again, please? We will be handing out the certificates of participation, so please, all the athletes of the male division, adult male division, come to the stage. I will call Vigi from Maima to hand out the certificates for the participants. So please, all the adult male performers, come to the stage. All right, so first of all, thank you, VG from Maima, for being such a wonderful help and partner in organizing these wonderful events. So, we're gonna hand out the certificates of participation to the athletes. Roshan Bist. Anshering Lama. Oh, here he comes, Shering, come on. Harshkumar Odari. Ardem Alici. Rob Bacchus. Ernesto Betancourt. Seldon Jickinson. Ian Johnson. Anel Sandoval. John Zurank. Pabl Namislo. Parth Agraal. Bibangu Banjare. Sandep Nayak. Harshkumar Patel. Luis Arevalo. Alejandro Blanco. Augustine Berea. Eduardo Mendoza. Eric Casada. Belgutei Olombatar. So that's it. Now we take a short break. Thank you all. Congratulations. We will be back in 1 hour at 2 p.m.